Sabrina Carpenter is really popular right now, and for good reason. She's got a lot of great songs, a lot of great production, great songwriting, great vocals. We're going to focus on the production for a minute. She has a song called Manchild. I like the production in that song a lot. It's got an 80s vibe mixed with more modern pop, mixed with some like rockabilly weirdness for the choruses. It all works really well together. But we're going to focus on the beginning, that iconic sort of 80s synth line mixed with the drum beat. That's kind of right up my alley. And when I was making music a long time ago, I didn't have any money for any sort of plugins or gear or anything like that. So I was making music just in Logic with Logic stock plugins. So we're going to see, as an experiment, if we can make that, Juno sound, that Lindrum sound, and that iconic pattern that's at the beginning of Manchild in Logic, just using Logic stock plugins really quickly. Let's see if we can do it. So we're going to open up a Logic project. We're going to start with a software instrument pattern. So you just hit create. If you're new to Logic, there's a lot going on here. I'll try and move quickly, but make it pretty simple. This song is in G major, so we're going to go up to this area up here. You can see where my mouse is, and change from C major to G major. I believe this song is 123 BPM, so we're going to drag that up to 123. We opened our software pattern, and that's going to default to this thing called Tough Kit. If you look over here in this window, there are lots and lots of options for drum sounds. Logic has great options, and Logic has a Lindrum option right here. It's actually really, really good. So we're going to click Lindrum. Now we have our Lindrum sound. You can hear that. I'll turn it up just a little bit. Awesome. Okay, so in this window, we have our pattern. Right now, it's just one measure. It's divided into 16 steps, so it's 16th notes. So you basically have 4 beats for each, four squares for each beat. So to make the pattern that we've got in Manchild, we're going to put the kick on the 1 and the 3. So you can just click in this kick window here. You'll click this box and this box. That's going to be beat 1 and beat 3. You can turn this repeat bar on and play it real quick just to see. All right, that's right. We're going to come down here to snare 1. So that was kick 1. We're going to use snare 1. That's going to be on the 2 and the 4. So then we have... Great, we're already almost there. We're going to go down to the hi-hat, and the hi-hat is going to be closed, and we're going to do it as 8th notes. So that's just going to be every other one, starting on the 1 here. And it's going to sound like this. So you already got the pattern. There's a lot of things you can do pretty quickly to make this sound more human. And what we're going to do is open this panel right here. So if you go to hi-hat closed and you pull down this little arrow, it'll open up some options here for ways that you can edit the sound. We're going to change the velocity. So to make it sound like a person is playing it, we're going to make it pulse every other note. So we're going to, if you click this, you can drag and change the velocity. We're going to keep the first ones on the 1, basically on the beats, the 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to keep that at around 100. You can change it a little bit just to make it feel more like a person. We'll keep that around 100. And then on the ands, so you have 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. On the ands, we're going to make that like half volume. We're going to do that because when a person is playing hi-hat like this, they're going to be feeling the groove, and it's going to sort of pulse like that. So if we play that by itself, like that, it's got a little bit more of a pulse to it. So if we play that together, that's the drum beat. There's a lot of mixing and tone shaping that you can do to make that sound even better. We're not going to spend time doing that right now. I would do that later, and I might make a video on how to do that later. But for now, the next thing we're going to do is pull up that synth line. So we're going to open up a software instrument. So you hit the plus, you'll hit MIDI software instrument here, and then you'll create that. That will bring up a track down here. That will sound just like an electric piano to start. Obviously, that doesn't sound like a Juno. So what we're going to do is pull up our mixer, and we're going to switch to retro synth. You'll go down here to synthesizer, and then you'll sift through all these until you see retro synth. You'll click that, and that will immediately change your sound to something like this. Which is closer, still not there, but that's okay. We're going to shape it here in the settings. So to make this sound like a Juno, what we're going to do is change some of the settings in this window. You don't have to change that much, to be honest. It's pretty easy to do. All right, first we're going to switch the oscillator dial here. This is just telling you how much signal is coming from each oscillator. We're going to put that to 0.25 towards oscillator 1, which basically just means 75% of the sound is coming from the first oscillator. That is going to stay as a sawtooth. It should default to that. Just in case it doesn't, you're going to pull this dial over to this little sawtooth symbol here. Shape 2, we're going to switch to a square wave, and we're going to pull that mostly down here, probably to like 13-ish, 13 or 14%-ish. That's great. So that's starting to get a little bit closer. The next thing we're going to do is look at this window right here, the filter. We're going to keep that on a low pass, 24 dB lush filter. That's great. I'm going to pull this key up a little bit, and then we're going to pull the cutoff down to like 0.25, 0.26, somewhere between 0.25 and 0.27, depending on taste, how you feel like it's going to sound once we start messing with that. Then we're going to pull the envelope up a little bit, probably to like 0.7. Right now that's going to sound like this. I know it doesn't feel like that much of a difference. It is, I promise. It's going to all work out. Then we're going to go to the effects tab over here. We are going to put a chorus on this and probably change the rate to about 0.4, 0.45, and then 0.75 is fine for the mix for right now. There you go. Now we're starting to get more of that 80s iconic sound. Okay. Oh, I forgot to do something. We're going to go back to the shape, the oscillator here, and we're going to pull this down, the semitones, pull it down to -12, so that shape 2 is an octave below shape 1. And then we're going to pull the synths up to like 8. Give it a little harmonic distortion there. It's just detuning it very, very slightly so that it sort of has a little bit of a phase or whatever you want to call it. Okay. Last thing we're going to do, we're almost there. I know it doesn't sound like it, but we are almost there. We're going to go to the filter envelope and the amp envelope. Now, if you want it to sound authentically like a Juno, these need to be tied together the same or very, very close to the same. We might not make them exactly the same, but we will keep them very close. We are going to change the attack to 11 milliseconds. Okay. And then we're going to pull the decay down probably to like 220 milliseconds-ish, 200 milliseconds. So sustain down to like 0.35-ish. And then decay to like 200 milliseconds. I think that's about right. Okay, so the next thing we need to do before we like hyperfixate on that is play the part. To my ear, the part sounds a little bit like this. So that's what that part sounds like to my ear. We're almost there. I think it sounds sort of like the Juno. It just needs a little bit more tweaking. So now is when you will go in to this retro synth panel and you will just play your beat that you've got. I'll pull this where you can see it. And start messing with this stuff until you feel happy with it. The only adjustments I've made since recording it were expanding the release a little bit and then messing with the envelope, the decay, and the filter decay. The final thing we're going to do here for this Juno sound to make it sound like the song is open this settings menu down here. Most of these settings are good. We like 16 polyphony here. Having a little bit of detuning is great. Stereo spread, we might bring down a little bit just because it's pretty dang wide right now. And we're going to go from unison 2 voices to unison 4 voices. That will help beef it up a little bit. I don't like 8 voices is a little bit too much for this, but you change those settings and you kind of got this sound. That's starting to me to sound very, very close. So I think we're done there. Time to move on to bass. Okay, that sounds great. For the bass, we're going to use pretty similar settings. So we're going to duplicate that Juno so that we just have the exact same settings. We're going to open up the synth again. We're going to change some of these settings here. Let's start in the oscillator. We're going to keep the shapes the same. We're going to switch the semitones from -12 to +12 because we want that secondary oscillator to be an octave above our bass because we're going to be playing much lower. We're going to keep the mix the same. Let's move to the next window. We are going to change from a low-pass 24 dB lush filter to the same one with fat in parentheses. We are going to open up the envelope a little bit. We are going to keep the rest the same there for now. We're going to go to the chorus window. We're going to turn the effect window. We're going to turn the chorus off. We don't need that. We're going to go down here to the filter envelope. We're going to make the attack much faster, probably like 4 or 5-ish. That should be okay for now. We're going to open the settings. We're going to change from polyphony to mono. We're going to keep the detune. Doesn't really matter. We're going to take the stereo spread and make it 0. And we're going to take the unison off. That way, we've got this sound. Very bouncy, present bass with a little bit of an octave on there. So that sounds really nice. So now we're going to record the part with that. And that part sounds a little bit like this. I think that's what the bass line is. It's pretty close, at least. So you do just a little bit of volume control, and you have this. I think that sounds pretty good. I think if I were doing it and I were trying to make a finished product, I would obviously spend hours and hours in here screwing around with it. I would do a lot of tone shaping using EQ. I would probably use compressors. And Logic has great stock plugins for that. They've got the vintage console EQs. Their compressors are great. They have great saturation tools. Chroma Glow is great for that. So I would do a lot of that sort of shaping to make it sound mix ready. But I think for like 10 minutes in Logic, that sounds great to me. The lesson to be learned here, in my opinion, is Logic has great plugins. You can be convinced that to make something sound professional, you need to buy tons and tons of expensive plugins, and you just don't. They're great tools. A lot of them are really, really wonderful. They make your life very easy oftentimes, but you don't have to have them. You can open up Logic, pull up their stock plugins, experiment, turn knobs and mess with things, and you can get really, really great sounds. So my encouragement would be, if you're starting out and you don't have a ton of money to buy plugins, even if you do, honestly, I think the first thing you should do is get into Logic or whatever your DAW is and see what it has. Don't be afraid to mess with things. Don't be afraid to just make sounds that you think sound horrible and mess with them until they sound relatively good to your ears. You'll pick up tons and tons of useful skills for the future, and you may learn that you don't need some of those plugins. So I think that's pretty good for 10 minutes in Logic. Hope you guys enjoyed that. I may do a video down the road doing some more of the tone shaping and mixing for something like this, for a song like this. Follow and like and leave a comment if you want to see something like that. But until then, see you later.